Good morning. Today are the Sanibel updates as of October 9th, 2022, day 11 of hurricane recovery. Lee County Public Health Department has issued countywide precautionary swim advisories for all public beaches and private swimming pools, advising the public not to enter the water due to the possible increase of waterborne illnesses. The water quality has been affected by Hurricane Ian, and they are urging people to avoid contact with contaminated water. The mayor would like to remind bicyclists on the island to bike on the side of the road when emergency vehicles or work crews are trying to get by. When the mayor was on the island today, she noticed way too many residents biking down the middle of the road and not yielding to work crew vehicles. This is one reason they were hesitant to open the island back to residents, because of possible traffic issues. The quicker the emergency crews can get their work done, the sooner the power will be turned back on. Remember, there are still no working utilities on the island besides cell phone service. Any electricity is being powered with generators. Wildlife update. 2 gopher tortoises have been walking around the island. The bobcat has been spotted alive as well, plus lots of alligators and iguanas. I'm very happy to hear that people have spotted the gopher tortoises. Whenever I stayed at the Island Inn, I always saw them walking around, and I was worried because the Island Inn did sustain major damage. But the tortoises have been spotted, so that is great news. Lee County has supplied 10 deputies for the Sanibel Police Department. They will be working in 12-hour shifts. Some residents were curious why the National Guard left. Basically, they were no longer needed. If security and safety becomes an issue, like maybe with an influx of looters, the sheriff can request more deputies with very little time. But overall, there hasn't really been any documented cases of looting besides that one news reporter that was a total jerk. Other than that, no one's really had any issues that have been reported. Fire and rescue reported 2 more heat-related calls today. One resident had to be evacuated by the helicopter. The curfew rule has slightly changed. Curfew is still 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. The city was requesting residents to leave by 7 p.m. and not spend the night on the island. Since not all residents were leaving and wanted to stay in their homes, the city manager and mayor decided to revise the rule to allow residents to stay on the island. The new rule is that they are not allowed to move around the island after 7 p.m. Again, this is due to safety. The police will be patrolling the island and enforcing the curfew. Remember, there is still no utilities working on the island. So I am curious about these residents who want to stay in their houses. So they might have electricity if they have a generator, but they don't have any running water. And technically they don't have any running sewer. I guess if you you can fill the back of your toilet, the water tank, so it'll allow it to flush. But if you don't have a running sewer system, doesn't that eventually back up? So I'm just not quite for sure how these people are comfortable staying overnight. But I don't know. I'm not a fan of camping. I don't like to rough it. Kudos to these residents who are willing to rough it. The city manager had to address the generator rumors again. The fire department is not making residents turn off their generators unless they are operating them in an unsafe manner. Remember to make sure there is a 20-foot clearance around your generator. Also make sure the generator is cooled down before adding gasoline. 2 people in Pinellas Park were severely injured last week from an exploding generator. So back to the safety issue, remember there's still only 1 fire truck that holds 750 gallons of water in case there's a fire. They have other fire trucks, but these are designed to be hooked up to running water. And since there is no running water at the moment, it could be a huge issue. That's why you need to be extra careful when you are using generators. The city has worked out barge service areas, excuse me, for contractors to start arriving on the island tomorrow. Now, before residents get upset thinking the city arranged barges for contractors but not for them, these are not city barges. These are contractor-owned barges. The Chamber of Commerce found spots willing to let them dock so the mitigating phase on residents' houses can start. The contractors can dock at Tarpon Bay Marina, Sanibel Marina, and the Island Inn. There's not a marina at the Island Inn. They're talking about beach landing. Since the Island Inn was already severely damaged, the owners of the Island Inn are willing to let the barges dock there. This isn't a free-for-all. Contractors still have to arrange a docking time slot with the Chamber of Commerce. Details will be outlined for the contractors on the mysanibel.com website. Contractors need to have a hurricane contractor pass or be escorted by a resident who has a hurricane pass. Demolition inside houses usually requires a permit, but the city is temporarily waiving the permit requirement for interior demolition. They ask that no house be completely demolished yet. So this interior demolition is pretty much just pulling down the wet drywall, pulling down like destroyed cupboards, etc. You're not pulling apart your base, like your 2x4s or whatever that's holding up your house. Do not demolish that yet. That would require a permit, and the city building department is not ready for that stage. Plus, you still have to file insurance claims, so too soon for that. The city is also arranging porta potties to be delivered, but they aren't scheduled to be delivered until Tuesday. So yeah, that's such a sanitation issue for all the contractors arriving tomorrow. That's all I have for today. I hope you all had a wonderful weekend, and I will have another update tomorrow morning.